Hello everybody, back here again for another vlog a day, and today is Thursday the 17th, and today is a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got up this morning, fairly normal time. Dogs let me sleep in a little bit because they're not high neurotic dogs. I have to be up at 5:30. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Better than I deserve.
That's always a good thing.
So I got up, got them around, ended up heading outside, let my wife sleep in a little bit, trying to keep it quiet in the house and all that good fun stuff. Chilling out there in the morning, basically it's kind of waiting for my wife to get up so I can start making noise and all that good fun stuff. Had a county inspector come in to assess our taxes to verify that basically myself, the contractor, and the permit inspector who signed off my patio are not all three liars saying how big the patio slab is, because apparently, even though I'm saying it's the size, the permit said it's the size, the inspector said it's the size and signed off on it, and the contractor said it's the size, the county says, we don't believe none of you, and we got to come out and measure ourselves. So we had to come out. They were supposed to be here yesterday, they didn't show up, so they're supposed to call today, give us a heads up they're on their way over. So I'm like, okay, whatever, and went ahead. It's just a waste of money because they got to find some way to justify all their salaries so they come out and they do stupid shit like this. So I ended up getting a text from my mom saying the fact that the inspector lady's here. I'm like, what the fuck? The assessor, I guess it's the assessor. And I'm like, what? They're supposed to contact first, which my wife was still technically, I thought, in bed. So I thought, well, maybe she was still in bed and the call came through and didn't know it. So I didn't really get in the woman and kind of give her shit about, hey, why didn't you give me a heads up like you said you were going to? But so I kind of left alone because it may have happened. I just didn't get the heads up from my wife. So, but you know, she has to come in the backyard and look at this pad, but she's not allowed to walk through our house, which I thought, okay, whatever. So had to go open the gate, which I have blocks blocking the dogs and stuff, can't knock the gate open. So got that all done, got the dogs inside the house, let her in the backyard. She looked at it, never even pulled out her tape measure. We chatted a little bit, talked about my dogs, talked about running, talked about how screwed up the county is for the permitting and all that bullshit. And then she complained about how like she has to go out and inspect like above ground pools and things, which I have one sitting over there, which I've never pulled a permit on, so I didn't know I needed to until now. So I'm like, hey, there you go. I didn't say shit about it, but I did ask about what happens if I hadn't pulled a permit on this patio and you guys find it later. And basically her answer was, oh, we just tax you for that year for the taxes. So if I get away with it for a year or two, then there's no penalties, nothing. It sounds like they might force me to buy a permit, but it sounds like there's no major penalties in the whole process, but we don't know. So it is what it is there. So the big thing is if it's something that has to be inspected, like say I was building a shed or building an add-on to my house, because I said there's a house we looked at buying that had a big addition added to it that was not permitted, and clearly was not, I don't think it didn't pass code. That she goes, well, if you can't bring it up to code, they can make you tear it off and start over or be without it if you don't get the permit approved again to replace it. Because I guess apparently the house that she's in, that happened, the house they bought, it's the same, there was additions added onto it that were not done correctly and whatever and whatnot. So who knows? But she got out of there and went on her way, let the dogs out again. Wife was up, so we chatted a little bit, got a couple things done, nothing too major. Went ahead and accomplished a few things. Decided to head over midday or so to go basically secure the record shelves that my father-in-law has. I guess his friend built, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago or something. And they're kind of a weird layout. The way they built them was a lot of wasted energy, a lot of wasted money on like adjustable brackets and stuff. Like you're putting records on it. It's all you're ever gonna put on this thing. So why you waste all this money for adjustable brackets? And the shelves I think are too small. So they barely hold the clips, but they've held for 30 years or so. But they also never been moved. They got put in the house once. Now these things been moved twice. So who knows? We'll see what happens, how it goes down. But hopefully they hold up. So I got them anchored to the wall, able to hit a stud on both of them, so they're rock solid, they're not going anywhere, and then he can start filling them up. And got back over, and in that process I unloaded the truck, which still had the tricycle in it, which was his grandson's, that it's now his, I guess. I think he's supposed to pay for it or something, but God, it's a piece of crap. So took it for a quick little ride, and the chain keeps falling off. Can't figure out what's going on. Whoever put it together is an idiot, and it's just not lined up. So I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm like, you're just, the sad part is it's stuck in like high gear, so it's super hard to pedal, hard to go. And when you are pedaling and stuff, if you try and change gears, it kicks off and the change is out of whack, like it's way out of the way. So I started looking at it, somewhat figuring, I'm like, maybe if I adjust this here, this part, maybe I'll get it aligned. So I got it aligned up best I could, but the bracket's just in the wrong place. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I went ahead and got it adjusted over as best I can. So now he has 2nd through 7th instead of 1st through 7th. But hey, it's better not having nothing. So it is definitely much better. Got the handlebars adjusted, the brakes need adjustment, but I'm not sure how to adjust them. I don't know anything about them. I need to probably take a photo of what they are, what brand they are, look up on YouTube and see how to do it. But also, he said something about the garage door being messed up. The garage door works perfectly fine. It's manual. You got to pull it up, by hand up and down. And he said, well, Karen says something about, well, it's too short to reach it. So she has to grab a hammer or a rake, hook the door and pull it down. But she's only done that like twice in her life. So I never did bother fixing it. But I said, well, I'll look around, find some rope. I say, or can you reach it? He goes, oh, I can reach that. And he walks over the edge of the door where the opening is, and it kind of slopes off for water drainage. And as he gets there, he just throws both hands in the air like to grab the door and falls straight forward. He's falling straight to his face on the ground. Doesn't even step forward to try and catch himself, nothing. I was like, the fuck, look like I stand close enough. So I threw my hand out and like palmed him right in the chest and caught him. I'm like, hey. He's like, whoo. And he had that moment like, I'd already caught him before he realized he was falling. And that makes me super nervous. He's like, I can reach that. And I'm like, how about we don't try anymore? How about I put a rope on it? You just pull the rope down and we're good to go. Don't ever try and reach up above your head like that again, especially on this tiny little slope of concrete. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. So he got back in there. I finished unloading the truck, got it all figured out, got it all settled in, what I needed and whatnot. And then basically kind of left it alone from there. And it makes me really nervous with him because he doesn't realize how much limitations he really has in his life. He still thinks he can do everything as good as he's ever done, and he's not even close to it. Like, it's just makes you really nervous. Like, I remember a while back, he got back into smoking weed. He didn't smoke weed, I guess, the whole time he was at the rehab, the assisted living center. He didn't smoke weed at all for like 18 months. And he came back out and he started smoking weed again, and he got himself like just ripped, like just stoned off his damn mind. And then called me and pissed me off because I'm not really want to deal with him all messed up on drugs where he can't make sense of what's going on. So I basically told him to go piss off, get sober before he contacts me again, and then whatnot. So like an hour later, he hits me back up and he's like, I didn't answer, I was looking on a run. And he's basically in the voicemail telling me how, oh, he's fine now, it's all wore off and da-da-da. And I figured out his dosage because he used the wrong dosage and blah, blah, whatever. And I don't know if he did it again or what, but he was still ripped up. Like, he was still basically drunk, but on weed. And he was just like not making sense. So after he sobered up enough, I informed him, don't talk to me after you've had a weed, because you don't know how to regulate your shit. You're ripped out your mind. And anything you need to talk to me in the morning before you start getting stoned, because I don't want to deal with your drug ass. Like, you don't know your boundaries, you don't know where you're at. And the fact that you thought you were sober enough now to be completely lucid makes me super terrified of giving you access to a golf cart or a car or any of that shit in the future, because it makes me really nervous. Because guess what? You don't know your limitations. If you get somebody who goes out and has a drink or two at a party and goes, oh shit, I'm a little bit drunk, I probably should drive home, I trust that person with my life because that person knows their limits are. Person that says I've only had 18 beers, I can drive. No, I don't trust you. So you may get home alive every time, but I'm not putting my life in your hands. And also, unfortunately, I'm on the highway with all these same idiots, especially on my motorcycle. It makes me even more terrified of the world. There's more people like him out there than there are like me, who has a couple drinks and goes, oh, would not pass a DUI checkpoint right now, so I should not be driving. Big different story. So, and also because of the fact that I drive so little drunk, like everybody else who drives every night drunk, I get busted for DUI, I'm gonna be really pissed off because I had 2 drinks within the hour or whatever, and I blow a .081 or something, or a .09. I'm gonna be really pissed off because these guys are driving home drunk with a 1.2 every night of their life and never get pulled over. So I just can't live with that in the process. But I got a bunch of stuff accomplished over there, got the rope tied up to the door and all kind of stuff. Headed back over, I got a few things around the house done, hung out there, had a basically just kind of chill day aside from that. And then I was gonna run out and grab a load of records from the storage unit, and it's hot, it's so damn hot. And then also went for my run, got back, and I thought, I don't want to get all sweaty again going and get those. So plus it was raining really hard and I didn't want to mess with it, and said to hell with it. So went ahead and said, nah, I'll do it tomorrow or the next day or next month, because he's still got, I don't know, 200 boxes to unpack at the house now. So it is what it is there. So yeah, went ahead, got that all finished up there, got my run in, got my shower, Ended up having spaghetti for dinner. Mom finished up the spaghetti we had, and then watched a episode of Grace and Frankie, and then headed back out to enjoy a cigar with the dogs, chilling out in the evening. And we had a crazy storm roll through earlier. Man, lightning was like insane. I had a lightning strike that hit, like simultaneously light hit, and the sound hit immediately. And as a kid, I remember one time I had a tree got struck by lightning within throwing, like I could throw a rock and hit the tree, it was that close. And it wasn't as loud as this one was. And didn't see where it hit, but man, it was loud. It was so loud. The hair on my arm stood up from the static electricity in the air. Not the scaring me, it was just the actual, you could feel the electricity in the air, which was crazy. And I was like, ooh, that ain't good. But we've been having some really weird storms lately. That was one of them. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Finally wrapped up my cigar, headed back in, had myself a little bowl of chips for dessert, and watched it Cheers with my wife, and wrapped it up, called it a night. So that's all I got for right now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.